A very pleasant morning to you all children, and I feel extremely pleasured to meet you after a long time, say for a period of 1 week. Children, we have started with the lesson light and we have seen about reflection. In reflection, regular and diffuse reflection, and images and the qualities of the image formed by the plane mirror. Now, let us extend our study in the same chapter light in dealing with multiple reflections. We all know that reflection is a phenomenon where light is reflected into the same medium after bouncing back on a polished surface like a mirror. Now we will see about multiple reflections and its effects. Children, now let us go into the details of multiple reflection. Before going into the details, let us see what is multiple reflection. If the reflection is happening again and again, we call it as multiple reflection. For reflection, we need an object and the image is seen in the mirror. So the image which is seen in the mirror becomes an object for the second mirror, and so it forms a third image. So like this, multiple images are being formed due to multiple reflections. So the object will be only one, but a number of images will be formed because of the plane mirrors which are kept inclined to an angle. So this is the process or basic of multiple reflection. Now look into the slide. Take two plane mirrors and place them such that they make an angle between them. Place an object between the mirrors. You can see several images in both the mirrors. This is because the image formed by one mirror acts as the object for the second mirror. This phenomenon is referred to as multiple reflection. So when the plane mirrors are inclined or placed together with an angle, they form multiple images, and this is called multiple reflection. Now can we tell how many number of images are being formed? Yes. The number of images formed depends on the angle between the mirrors. The number of image formed is found using the formula n is equal to 360 divided by theta minus 1, where n refers to number of images and theta refers to the angle between the two plane mirrors. Now let us calculate using the formula how many images are being formed when the mirrors are kept at the angle. Now we have seen the number of images formed has a formula 360 divided by theta. Here it is represented as x. So 360 divided by x minus 1, where the x is the angle formed between the two mirrors. Now let us take the first one, 180. So wherever x is there, you substitute 180. So 360 divided by 180, so it is 2. 2 minus 1, it is equal to 1. So when the mirrors are exactly at 180, that means in a straight line, then we don't get any multiple images. We get only one image. Whereas if the mirrors are turned to an angle 120. Now substitute the value of x as 120 in the above formula and you simplify, you get 2. So that means when the mirrors are inclined at 120 degrees, then we get 2 images. Third case, 90 degrees. So if the mirrors are inclined at 90 degrees, substitute the value of x as 90 in the above equation and simplify, you will get the number of images to be 4. So similarly, it can be calculated for more and more cases. Now here children, I can find for 90 degrees, it should be 3. 4 minus 1, it should be 3, but in the slide it is given as 4. So please do correct it. So when you keep it at 45 degrees, you get 7 images. When you keep it as 60 degrees, you get 5 images. Children, let us now see to the applications of multiple reflections. One such application of multiple reflection is for the instrument Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope is an instrument which you might have enjoyed looking into it with the different color patterns which forms due to multiple reflections. This instrument works on the principle of multiple reflections. It consists of 3 plane mirrors inclined at an angle of 60 degrees to each other. The arrangement is kept in a cylindrical cardboard base with a few pieces of colored glass at one end. The mirrors form multiple images of these glass pieces, resulting in beautiful patterns when seen from the outside end. On rotating the cylindrical box, the pattern changes continuously as the position of the glass piece shifts. Now let us see how to design the scene instrument, that is kaleidoscope. How can we make a kaleidoscope of our own? It is based on the principle of multiple reflections. It consists of 3 plane mirrors strips arranged at 60 degrees to each other in a tube. Now, to design this kaleidoscope, we need to have 3 rectangular plane mirrors of the same size. We have to arrange them in such a way each of the mirror forms an angle 60 degrees to the base, like an equilateral triangle. One end of the tube is closed with the 2 circular glass discs, the inner being transparent glass and outer being of ground glass. So glass pieces or bangles of various colors are kept between the 2 discs. The other end is covered with transparent glass disc through which one can view glass pieces. Due to reflection in mirrors, hexagonal patterns of colored bangles can be seen. As the tube is slowly rotated, new floral design with different colors combinations can be seen. An interesting feature of kaleidoscope is that you will never see the same pattern again. Designers of fabrics, wallpapers and artists use kaleidoscope to get an idea to form new patterns. The next instrument, which is based on the principle of multiple reflection, is a periscope. A periscope is a long tubular device through which a person can see objects that are not in direct line of sight. You can see the diagram here. A boy is below the platform. See, he is able to see the image of the tree which is above his sight through the help of periscope. Due to reflection from the mirror 1 and the reflection from the mirror 2, one is able to see objects which are not visible directly. So light rays from the tree is getting reflected from the mirror 1 and the image of that is being received by the mirror 2 and it is transferred to the observer. So an observer who hides below the surface of the land can able to see what is happening on the floor. So periscopes are usually used in submarines, tanks, and also by soldiers in bunkers to see things outside. Children, let us now recall the laws of reflection which we have studied in the last week. Since it's a very important law, we are revising for this week also. The first law of reflection states that the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal all lie in the same plane. The second law of reflection states that the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Similarly, we will now revise the image formed by the plane mirror, formation of image in a plane mirror and its properties, the properties of image formed in a plane mirror. First one, the image is virtual. Second, the image is erect. The image is of the same size as the object. The image is laterally inverted. The image is as far behind the mirror as the object is in front of it. The image is situated on the line passing through the object and perpendicular to the plane mirror. Children, by this we come to the end of today's learning section. I have taken only a little in today's class because it is you who have to remember and understand the concept. So unless and until you listen frequently, you cannot understand. So I receive complaints from your parents that you are not watching the video. Some are watching it for the sake of viewing. Children, you have to understand the real pandemic situation which is prevailing here. So this virtual learning is, I understand, it's difficult. However, we make things as a liquefied way in order to make you to understand. If you happen to come across any difficulties in any of the chapters, you are having all the rights to question and get your doubts cleared. So children, listen to the slides many number of times, only then you will understand. You cannot understand all at once. So listen to the slides very carefully, frequently until you understand. So from today's class, I am going to introduce one more thing. That is, I may call any one of you and I will ask you questions in between. So after your response, I will call you personally and I will ask you some of the questions related to that day's learning. So you must be able to tell me the correct answers. So we will meet next time. Until then, bye from you children.